Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The rational and systematic study of religion and its influences and of the nature of religious truth. A particular system or school of religious beliefs and teachings. Jewish theology. The learned profession acquired by specialized courses in religion, usually taught at a college or seminary. He studied theology at Oxford. Any supernatural being worshipped as controlling some part of the world or some aspect of life, or who is the personification of a force. The rational and systematic study of religion and its influences and of the nature of religious truth. White creamy fudge made with egg whites. The quality of being divine. Ancient Egyptians believed in the divinity of the pharaohs. A particular system or school of religious beliefs and teachings. A branch of knowledge. A particular kind of commercial enterprise. They are outstanding in their field. The area that is visible, as through an optical instrument. A particular environment or walk of life. The space around a radiating body within which its electromagnetic oscillations can exert force on another similar body not in contact with it. A piece of land prepared for playing a game. The home crowd cheered when Princeton took the field. A place where planes take off and land. Extensive tract of level open land. He longed for the fields of his youth. A region where a battle is being, or has been, fought. They made a tour of Civil War battlefields. A region in which active military operations are in progress. The army was in the field awaiting action. A geographic region, land or sea, under which something valuable is found. The diamond fields of South Africa. All of the horses in a particular horse race. All the competitors in a particular contest or sporting event. Answer adequately or successfully. The lawyer fielded all questions from the press. A piece of land cleared of trees and usually enclosed. He planted a field of wheat. Catch or pick up balls in baseball or cricket. Computer science, a set of one or more adjacent characters comprising a unit of information. Mathematics, a set of elements such that addition and multiplication are commutative and associative and multiplication is distributive over addition and there are two elements 0 and 1. The set of all rational numbers as a field. Play as a fielder. Select, a team or individual player, for a game. The Buckeyes fielded a young new quarterback for the Rose Bowl. Somewhere, away from a studio or office or library or laboratory, where practical work is done or data is collected. Anthropologists do much of their work in the field. A branch of knowledge. Anthropology is the study of human beings. Give careful consideration to. Applying the mind to learning and understanding a subject, especially by reading. No schools offer graduate study in interior design. Attentive consideration and meditation. Preliminary drawing for later elaboration. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. He is meditating in his study. Learn by reading books. He is studying geology in his room. A detailed critical inspection. A written document describing the findings of some individual or group. This accords with the recent study by Hill and Dale. Be a student of a certain subject. Consider in detail and subject to an analysis in order to discover essential features or meaning. A composition intended to develop one aspect of the performer's technique. A study in spiccato bowing. A room used for reading and writing and studying. He knocked lightly on the closed door of the study. A state of deep mental absorption. She is in a deep study. Be a student. Follow a course of study. Be enrolled at an institute of learning. Someone who memorizes quickly and easily, as the lines for a part in a play. He is a quick study. A branch of knowledge. In what discipline is his doctorate? Develop, a child's or animal's, behavior by instruction and practice, especially to teach self-control. Parents must discipline their children. The act of disciplining. The offenders deserved the harsh discipline they received. Punish in order to gain control or enforce obedience. The teacher disciplined the pupils rather frequently. A system of rules of conduct or method of practice. He quickly learned the discipline of prison routine. The trait of being well behaved. He insisted on discipline among the troops. Training to improve strength or self-control. A branch of knowledge. Teachers should be well trained in their subject. Possibly accepting or permitting. The time is fixed by the director and players and therefore subject to much variation. A person who owes allegiance to that nation. A monarch has a duty to his subjects. Being under the power or sovereignty of another or others. Subject peoples. Make subservient, forced to submit or subdue. The subject matter of a conversation or discussion. He didn't want to discuss that subject. Something, a person or object or scene, selected by an artist or photographer for graphic representation. A moving picture of a train is more dramatic than a still picture of the same subject. A person who is subjected to experimental or other observational procedures. Someone who is an object of investigation. The subjects for this investigation were selected randomly. Some situation or event that is thought about. He had been thinking about the subject for several years. Cause to experience or suffer or make liable or vulnerable to. He subjected me to his awful poetry. Grammar. One of the two main constituents of a sentence. The grammatical constituent about which something is predicated. Likely to be affected by something. The bond is subject to taxation. Logic. The first term of a proposition. Make accountable for. He did not want to subject himself to the judgments of his superiors. A branch of knowledge. The area over which a bailiff has jurisdiction. A branch of knowledge. A branch of knowledge. A branch of knowledge. An ordered manner. Orderliness by virtue of being methodical and well organized. We can't do it unless we establish some system around here. A group of independent but interrelated elements comprising a unified whole. A vast system of production and distribution and consumption keep the country going. A complex of methods or rules governing behavior. They have to operate under a system they oppose. an organized structure for arranging or classifying. He tried to understand their system of classification. A group of physiologically or anatomically related organs or parts. The body has a system of organs for digestion. A procedure or process for obtaining an objective. They had to devise a system that did not depend on cooperation. Instrumentality that combines interrelated interacting artifacts designed to work as a coherent entity. He bought a new stereo system. Physical chemistry, a sample of matter in which substances in different phases are in equilibrium. In a static system, oil cannot be replaced by water on a surface. The living body considered as made up of interdependent components forming a unified whole. Exercise helped him get the alcohol out of his system. A complex of methods or rules governing behavior. One of the three professions traditionally believed to require advanced learning and high principles. The branch of theology that is concerned with angels. The branch of theology that is concerned with the defense of Christian doctrines. The branch of theology that is concerned with such final things as death and last judgment, heaven and hell, the ultimate destiny of humankind. The study of liturgies. The branch of theology concerned with the nature and the constitution and the functions of a church. The study of liturgies. The art of preaching. The branch of theology that deals with sermons and homilies. The branch of theology that defends God's goodness and justice in the face of the existence of evil. The branch of theology that deals with principles of exegesis. A form of Christian theology, developed by South American Roman Catholics, that emphasizes social and political liberation as the anticipation of ultimate salvation. A theology that holds that knowledge of God can be acquired by human reason without the aid of divine revelation. The teachings of Christian churches. Easily excused or forgiven. A venial error. Warranting only temporal punishment. Venial sin. The human act of creating. The event that occurred at the beginning of something. From its creation, the plan was doomed to failure. The act of starting something for the first time, introducing something new. Everything that exists anywhere. An artifact that has been brought into existence by someone. Theology, God's act of bringing the universe into existence. Theology, a special influence of a divinity on the minds of human beings. They believe that the books of Scripture were written under divine guidance. Theology, being determined in advance, especially the doctrine, usually associated with Calvin, that God has foreordained every event throughout eternity, including the final salvation of mankind. A product of your creative thinking and work. He had little respect for the inspirations of other artists. The act of inhaling, the drawing in of air, or other gases, as in breathing. Theology, a special influence of a divinity on the minds of human beings. Arousing to a particular emotion or action. Arousal of the mind to special unusual activity or creativity. A sudden intuition as part of solving a problem.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.